In this episode, we're going to have a look at a background job. In this background job, we're just going to perform later, so it's going to happen in the background. We're not running the perform now. And the purpose of this is to generate some text. It really doesn't matter what your background job is. It can really be anything that is making some kind of external call. And so when we run this, it's going to queue it up and it's going to start executing, and you can see the GPU usage is fully maxed out. So if we ran multiple ones of these concurrently, they're not going to perform in parallel as you may think. Instead, this job performed in about 4 seconds. And if we had executed multiple of these concurrently, then it would have just taken more time to process them because they would have been generated concurrently. And that's less than ideal, especially if we want each request to be processed as fast as possible, but they get queued up in a line. So again, we can run the same thing, but we'll queue it up multiple times. And what we'll find is that it's just going to execute one at a time, and that would be the desired effect. And it's not just with AI that this comes across. If you are using your own self-hosted instances, for example, if you had an HA proxy with an Ollama backend, then you could run multiple concurrent requests, as each one would be hitting a different GPU. But we're still limited in this example to 6 different concurrent workers, so I would want to make sure that my application reflects that as well. But sometimes when you're working with an API, it gets a little bit more complicated because they may have a certain number of concurrent requests that you can make, but they really don't have rate limiting. If the API was properly designed with rate limiting, then you would be able to check to see if you're about to approach that limit and then back off on the requests that you're making to that service. But sadly, in other APIs that I've seen, they just have a concurrent request that you're allowed to make. And if you exceed that, then you just start getting errors. And so what we're going to look at in this episode is with our background worker, how we can limit our requests. So in our original example, we can limit it so that any of these AI generation jobs are only going to happen one at a time. And the primary focus on this is going to be with Solid Job, but the same thing is possible with Sidekick and perhaps some other background workers. To watch this full episode and more videos, visit driftinruby.com and subscribe to the Pro membership.